Hi everyone. I'll be presenting macroeconomic analysis of the United Arab Emirates, commonly known as the UAE. My name is Christine Ignacio and I'll be taking you through various economic indicators and trend of the UAE. Agenda. Here is the agenda for today's presentation. Introduction to the UAE, inflation and real GDP trends, labor productivity and employment trends, trade balance, government budget balance, monetary policy, interest rates, and exchange rate. The UAE, with its capital of Abu Dhabi, celebrates its National Day on December 2nd. The national currency is the UAE dirham, and the national language is Arabic. The UAE is comprised of seven emirates: Abu Dhabi, Dubai, Sarha, Ras Al Khaimah, Ajman, Al Khowain, and Fujairah. The current president is Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan. Real GDP and inflation trend. Real GDP and inflation trend from 2013 to 2023 shows the UAE economic dynamic. Nominal GDP measured at current prices fluctuates due to inflation, which the gradual rise in prices over time. Real GDP adjusts this value to reflect the economy through output, offering a more accurate picture of economic health. As you can see, both lines point around 300 to 400 billion. Also, the real GDP line is more stable rather than the nominal GDP line. It is because the real GDP is adjusted from the inflation rate. Difference between nominal and real GDP. Nominal GDP reflect the raw number in current dollar and adjusted to inflation. Real GDP adjusts the number by fixing the current value, thus eliminating the distortion caused by inflation or deflation. Real GDP is often a more accurate reflection of the output of an economy than nominal GDP. By eliminating the distortion caused by inflation or deflation or by fluctuation in currency rate, real GDP gives economists a clear idea of how the total national output of country is growing or contracting from year to year. Inflation rate. This graph illustrates the ups and downs that occurred between 2013 and 2023. In order to compute the real GDP, the government will add the inflation to the nominal GDP and adjust it for changes in the cost of goods and services based on the state of the economy. 2020 GDP rate slightly went down in lockdown to oil price collapse. The collapse of oil prices, the demand of oil fell as a result of COVID-19, but Saudi Arabia and Russia disagreed on the oil productivity. Additionally, during this period, OPEC was unable to reach a new agreement to cut and control oil output, which led to an imbalance in supply and demand and decrease in oil prices. The UAE is a significant oil exporter to the global market. It also had an impact on them. These two factors caused the GDP growth rate to reach its lowest point in the last 10 years. Also, the harm was repaired in the first 2 years of 2022. 2022 GDP greatly rebound after pandemic. The GDP growth rate significantly increased from its lowest point in 2022. Three factors helped the UAE economy return to normal. First and foremost, the pandemic recovery happened quickly. Dubai actively promoted a vaccine program which benefited the UAE government by positioning Dubai as the hub for the vaccination more quickly than any nation and enabling the city to establish a more lenient social distance policy that would allow any company to relocate from Dubai. The second is the 2021 Expo event. Originally scheduled for 2020, it was moved to 2021. About 24 million people attended this event, which benefited non-oil industry like tourism, hospitality, and services. The final factor was Ukraine increase in oil prices. Russia started the Ukraine war in 2022 and Russian oil was refused import to supply number was reduced. After the pandemic, the oil demand increase assisted the oil sector of the economy. Labor productivity and employment trend. Labor force participation 2023 to 2024. The UAE labor's productivity showed a period of slight decline followed by the sharp increase in 2020, indicating the impact of specific economic or policy measure subsequently is established suggesting a new norm. The analysis underscored the importance of continuous transition planning to sustain and enhance the labor productivity effectivity. NAPIS. Beginning in 2021, the federal government will implement NAPIS, a comprehensive program that combines financial incentive and reforms to increase employment prospect in the private sector for both young and experienced Emiratis. Through this program, the government aims to help young and professional workers interact with one another, provide training tailored to their job category needs, place them in a suitable employment, and support its citizens in finding employment so they may live in their nation. The UAE will use up to 24 billion under NAPIS to hire 75,000 Emiratis in the private sector between 2021 and 2025. How can NAPIS help you? Career counseling program, job offers, on-the-job training offers, national health care program. In this image is from the NAPIS website. As you can see, there are a lot of resources available to help you land the job. Then the government made an effort to help its people to develop the skills necessary to find employment. The total employment by various occupation graph for 2017 and 2022 is shown here. Employment in skilled profession grew from 2017 to 2022, whereas employment in traditional craft and trade occupation decreased since the start of the NAPIS program. And development has been observed in their areas as well. For instance, from 2017 to 2022, managerial occupation has the greatest annual rate at 12%. Unemployment rate in the UAE over the past decade initially grew steadily, experienced a deep mid-period, and then stabilized with notable growth. A significant spike in 2020 such as major economic or political event. Subsequent stabilization around 3% indicates a new post-peak equilibrium. Understanding this trend is crucial for future planning and prediction. Trade balance. What is trade balance, surplus, and deficit? The trade balance is the amount of nation import and export is used to calculate the extent of its overall trade. A nation has a trade deficit when its import exceeds its export. A nation with a trade surplus operates an opposite equation, meaning that its export exceeds its import. Trade balance refers to the difference between a country's export and imports. A surplus occurs when export exceed import, indicating economic strength. A deficit happens when import exceed export, potentially signaling economic imbalance. Top exported goods: crude oil, refined petroleum, gold, petroleum gas, and then diamond. Top imported goods: gold, jewelry, diamond, cars, broadcasting equipment. UAE is strong trading position. The UAE trade system makes it clear that they have a strong trading position because they sell significant amount of natural gas and oil to powerful trading partners like China, India, and the US. It even makes sense in terms of importing. As the nation yearly export rice, its currency appreciates, giving its greater purchasing power for infrastructure projects, more investment in machinery, and better overall economic growth as measured by GDP. Government budget balance. What is government budget balance, surplus, and deficit? A budget surplus is a sign of sound financial management by the government. Conversely, a deficit is the opposite, when expenditure exceeds receipt, necessitating borrowing on the part of the government to fund operations. Government budget balance refers to the difference between what a government earns through taxes and other revenue sources and what it spent on public service and investment. A surplus occurs when revenue exceeds expenditure, indicating financial strength. A deficit happens when expenditure exceeds revenue, potentially leading to increased borrowing and public debt. Revenue versus expenses. When comparing government spending in the United Arab Emirates with tax revenue, tax receipts typically covered government spending. Thus, with the exception of 2015, the UAE has a government surplus. Tax revenue was only unable to pay government expenditure in 2015, and the net of balance even display a large negative to government deficit figure on the right table. 2025 budget deficit. Oil price down, increased hydrocarbon production, government spending. The global oil price experienced a significant drop, impacting revenue of oil exporting nations heavily reliant on oil income from their budget. Despite increased production, the lower oil price resulted in lower overall revenue compared to previous year when prices were higher. Government continued to maintain or even increase spending levels to support their economies amidst the economy's challenges post the oil price downturn. Monetary policy. Monetary policy. The Central Bank of the UAE managed the country monetary policy, focusing on economic stability and market development. The money supply has been influenced by global economic trends, foreign investment, and domestic policies. Money supply between 2013 to 2023. Global economic trend, foreign investment, domestic economic policies, and financial activities. Diver- diversity Diversification effort reducing reliance on oil, focusing on sectors like tourism and finance, attracting substantial foreign investment with strategic policies and infrastructure, implementing reform to enhance business and environment and sustainability, consolidating its role a regional financial hub with robust banking and influence sector. Interest rate between 2013 to 2023. Interest rate in the UAE have varied from 2013 to 2023, reflecting the central bank response to economic condition. Notably, rates were reduced to support the economy during the periods of global uncertainty. Increased interest rates reflect CB response to current economic condition, inflationary response, liquidity condition in the banking system. Reduced interest rate in 2009-2021. Reduced interest rate to support the economy through a period of global economic uncertainty. Exchange rate between 2013 to 2023. The UAE dirham is pegged to the US dollar at a stable rate of 3.67 USD since 1997. This stability supports predictable international trade and investment. In conclusion, the UAE continues to develop, rapidly ranking as the fourth largest economy in the Middle East. Strategic focus on the both oil and non-oil sector, including tourism, ensure diversified economic growth. Thank you. Mas better.